Alright, well, here's the story.
In 1974, when my brother was asked what he wanted for Christmas, he said, "I want a brother or a sister or a dog. I don't care which." 9 months later, I wasn't much of a playmate. I watched everything he did, followed him everywhere he went, liked everything he liked, tried everything he tried. So when he joined a band, I started my own. I even had a name.
Please give it up for Overlord.
Get to know me is the obvious refrain. It's a 6 billion-sided war with the front at everyone's front door. Thanks.
My name's George Passless, and I'm George Passless, and we're Overlord. Not really. There have been a lot of people in Overlord.
My name is John Robb.
My name is Sarah Brockett.
My name is Matt Hauser.
My name is Dave Lichter.
My name is Chris Markwood.
My name is Steve Schultz.
My name is Ryan Boyd.
My name's Dan Segarian.
My name is Dan Noshaney.
My name's David Finzmer.
Hi, I'm Tris McCall.
And those are just the people who emailed me back.
We're Overlord. We're Overlord.
Welcome to an intimate evening with Overlord.
It's the great story everyone's been longing to hear.
There have been 24 members of Overlord so far.
I am the 10th drummer of Overlord. I'm the 10th drummer. 10th drummer. Can you name all the past drummers?
Of course. Jeff, Chris, Asif, Jordan, Dave, Jed, Chris, Dan, Steve, Jason. I wrote them on my fingers. And I'm not even counting myself.
There was a time where Overlord consisted of George and me and a drum machine, and that was it.
Of all the bands that I've played in, Overlord is the weirdest one.
I have a lot to thank for being an Overlord.
I'm happy about my involvement with Overlord. I recommend it to everyone. At the rate George is going, that's a distinct possibility.
It took me years to get even the first person to join the band.
Here we are, second week, September 1991.
I was 16, drawing my band's name on my school book covers, but there was no band. Making tape cases for non-existent albums, but there were no songs. I had minimal skill, if any, at guitar or piano. First, it was me and the 4-track, and I spent a couple years trying to learn how to write songs.
Oh, my demo tape!
Writing songs is risky. You're really putting yourself out there. That means to be a songwriter, your fear of humiliation has to be less than your need for attention.
Can I borrow a feeling? There's your picture on the front.
I was just another kid in America listening to British rock, waiting to get out of high school. College wasn't the escape I thought it would be. I lived alone, away from the campus. The city was dangerous. It was one of the worst winters on record.
Never have we seen temperatures this cold in this century.
When is it ever going to end? The ice, the snow, it's not even February yet.
We've got stormy weather everywhere, and the forecast, sleet, and then freezing rain.
I spent way too much time hanging out in a nearby cemetery. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I was worrying constantly. And something in my brain just broke. My personality completely changed, which actually helped with writing songs. I started putting up Overlord flyers around campus. Again, there was no band, but I saved a few for the inevitable documentary. Overlord did get its first lineup together. We played in a dorm basement, and then a frat, finally played a real club. We got heckled mercilessly and broke up on stage. And I thought, well, that's that. But of course it wasn't.
I remember meeting him on the steps of one of the campus buildings, and he threw a manila envelope at me of a tape and kind of ran off after that.
Sarah was the first person to take the band seriously, other than me. I graduated from college with no plans, but Overlord did have a CD.
Thank you very much.
The CD got reviews, 4 stars. First things first, the name must change.
So one thing about being in Overlord is that you're in a band called Overlord.
The name of the band is Overlord. Hey, we're Overlord. Yeah! Why would you name your band Overlord?
You guys are not a big, crazy German metal band?
Not yet.
No, it's not metal.
It's not metal. We're not metal. Wow, somebody finally found that funny.
It never occurred to me to change the name. More lineup changes. Another CD. We played way too many shows. I said, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
Thanks.
Of course I did.
Well, it's a funny world we live in. By funny, I mean not funny at all.
More lineup changes. More lineup changes.
Every spring is a color for the rest.
The next era of the band was with friends from school.
We met in junior high. I believe we met in 8th grade. We played a lot of shows in radio stations, record stores, in a fountain at the Capitol, which seems crazy to think of.
It was a not particularly effective protest against the war on terror. Fucking George W. Bush.
Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
We were politically superior to any other band that was active during Donald Rumsfeld's tenure.
Gas station, responsible for the war in the Middle East. Luckily, this car runs exclusively on my ego.
You know you're listening to the magnetic fields too much when you bring in someone to play accordion and toy piano in your rock band.
American Atheist Rally, that was a show.
I moved to LA, started Overlord West Coast, moved back.
I toured in support of the World Takes album, a seminal album in Overlord's catalog. Maybe you've heard of it.
More lineup changes.
I'm pretty sure if you stick with something long enough, occasionally things might not suck. And if you're able to put all of what you do onto tape, then you can edit out the bad parts and make people think that you might even be, somebody worth knowing.
I guess I'm a pretty weird dude.
George likes to stay up all night.
5:27 a.m.
And has recorded some of Overlord's best records staying up all night.
Vocal track, take 2.
He would record at night in a studio in a kind of industrial park.
I've been going in there just about every night between midnight and 6 a.m. This is the studio. Come on, we're almost there. This is where the magic happens.
So sometimes in the morning I'll get an email from him that was sent at 3:30 in the morning.
3:02 in the morning? Shit.
And on the demo, George controls everything.
He knew what he wanted and he could play everything.
Now it's time for multiple overdubs.
Every song started off as a demo.
Those demos, I think a lot of them are fantastic recordings.
And then I take it to the band, we'd play it live, and sometimes we try to re-record it at a real studio.
There's a gestalt to those recordings. It's very, very hard for a band to simulate just because everything is just a complete expression of Georgiosity.
So often the demo gets released even though it sounds like it was recorded in an elephant's ass.
There's something very wrong with me. I know you've noticed. Oh yeah, I'm a boy, I'm a boy, I'm a boy, I'm a boy, hey,
Moving to New York was obvious. It was filled with talented musicians and in clubs with good PA systems.
Once we got into that era of the band, it was just fun being in New York, playing shows around the city.
As a synthesizer player, it was like, where do I fit? And I remember I went to George and I said, like, I can't be in this group. And George insisted that I stay.
Perpetual lineup changes. More lineup changes. The consequence of sobriety has been a crystalline memory of everything that's ever happened and every bad thing I've done.
There's my elementary school. Had some long-term consequences, shall we say.
On the Ticker Symbols album, there's a great deal of wordplay.
That's where I learned how to write couplets. 2nd grade couplets in Mrs. Keene's English class. Still using them today.
There are some Overlord songs that's just one joke after another. You have to hear the song 10 times before you get the joke.
Songwriting is kind of like streaking. You have to not care if other people are grossed out.
All Overlord songs are sung from the same perspective, from the same character. It's George.
Hello. This is George Andrew Passless.
My name's George Passless.
This is George Passless.
My name is George Passless.
And he's telling you exactly how he's feeling, and he's going very deep. And a lot of these songs are emotionally very deep. And it's a very, very bleak worldview.
He's facing death, his own impermanence, the idea that no one's going to pay attention to his writing.
It is a hard world for the narrator of the Overlord songs. Things are not going right for that guy romantically and cosmically, really.
And I rejoined the band in 2007.
Overlord acquired the rhythm section of the best pop punk band in New York City.
You can really hear it in the way the rhythm section plays. There's real urgency there.
I don't think I communicate very well, so that's why I feel like I can't. My name's George. I'll be your George for the evening.
To show how artificial it felt fronting a band, I made everyone wear masks in the band and in the audience. If you're a singer trying to recount a traumatic event, are you going to feel the same way the second time you sing it? The 50th time? And at what point do you stop being a singer and start being an actor? In 2009, the lineup finally clicked into place, and nothing ever went wrong again.
The name of the new album is In Soviet Russia, My Heart Breaks You.
In the later years with Matt Hauser and Tris McCall, it just became a little wacky and fun and totally enjoyable to play music with them.
Thank you. Chris McCall, Sarah Brown, Matt Hausen, and Aaron George.
It's been especially weird to realize how my high school delusions have affected other people's lives.
I was the only Overlord member who almost died on the way to a show. I was driving on the PA Turnpike and my tire flew off into the woods.
I played an Overlord show on my wedding day.
George was getting crazy feedback in his monitor and threw his guitar down in frustration and left us on stage to wonder what the hell was going on.
That was a terrible show.
Moved to San Francisco, didn't go as planned, moved back, but got some songs out of it.
Who believes?
Have you ever had hopes of having a band that record together?
Well, it's a funny thing.
We finally made an album with everybody playing. It took a long time to get there, but like eventually the band got there. And I'm very, very proud to have had anything to do with that album.
That was when we discovered that if you keep playing long enough, you'll outlast all the clubs you play at. 1-900 Overlord.
It's Overlord. New from Atari. It's Overlord. The action figures. Matt, Sarah, Triss, even George.
You're watching the video for our new single, Mission to Mars.
George can sweet talk his way into anything.
The music video is called Mission to Mars.
It's weird to look back on the sheer volume of songs.
He was a songwriter. I mean, he always wrote songs.
The songs were really good.
Mission to Mars.
Automating.
Interior World.
Warm Body.
The song that saved the world.
Give Up Your Dreams.
When You Were Crazy.
Back to the Big Lie.
I like George's songs. They're good songs.
And they still are really good, and that is what I love the most about playing with Overlord.
Overlord remains to this day the most fantastic band with the most fantastic songs that I never got to play.
These are very wrenching, very heartbreaking songs. That over time, George loosened up and he became a more emotive singer on stage.
It just seemed like it would go on forever.
Residents now being ordered to stay indoors. Non-essential businesses told to close.
I don't know what to say about today.
That's a very complicated question. I mean, can you narrow it down a little bit?
I was watching a documentary about the cult band Sparks, and I realized there'd never be a documentary about my band unless I made it. My name is George Passless, and this is all my fault.
Through the magic of editing, I can say another day's work finished.